Okay, you guys, I got a confession. I know. So many of you probably don't know this already. I like sex parties. I've been to several. I've been to a few orgies. And I've visited a few bathhouses. I'm going to get into some things to really get into the the lifestyle it takes to have to be able to get into those type of things and enjoy it. Um it's a form of escapism, I like to call it. I get to escape from the real world and do things I wouldn't normally do on a day-to-day basis. But I'll get more into that when I actually touch on the topic. Here we go. Linkin with Robbie. So dude hit me in my DM, right? And I'm just like, all you niggas freak out, and that's just all it is. First off, girl, fuck him. And you are now listening to Linkin with Robbie. What's up? What's up? Bring them on in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so give y'all a few life updates. First off, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good. Few life updates. I think I feel like I've been on an island of Survivor, and it's like day 15, no water. I don't know, something crazy like that. But with sets, like I think I've reached such a high peak of sexual frustration that I almost don't know what the fuck to do with myself. I'm at a point where I'm just like, no, Robert, stop thinking about that. No, do not do that, Robert. No, you are not allowed to go link with him. No, Robbie, we said we were gonna cut that nigga off. Like, I've really gotten to a place where my discernment is out the window because the frustration is at such a high peak. Like, I could be on Instagram watching regular old tip out videos or trip out, whatever the shit called. I be looking at the tips, but they talking about tripping. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I could be watching that, and the next thing you know, I'm just like, damn, I wonder what what's the name doing. And it's so bad because sometimes I be wanting to hit up a certain person or hit up another person, then I have to stop myself and say, Robert, hey, Robbie, listen, there's a reason why you stopped linking with that person. What are you doing? Please don't do that. Please don't go there. And it's so bad because I'm getting to the point where it's like, I feel like I'm in heat. And I feel like the next time I do it, it's going to be something serious. Like, I haven't had no real, how do I put this? I haven't had like a real intimate passion filled. Like, I haven't had one of those wham damn boom, this was the best sex ever in a long time. I have not had the best sex in a long time. My body is losing it. I feel like I'm sweating as we speak just thinking about it because it's been so long since I've been touched in the right place. Whew, I gotta control myself. Honestly, what I need a good retreat or a good getaway to just lose all my inhibitions. Like Natasha Bedingfield said, feel the rain on your skin. I want to feel some rain on my skin. You feel me? If you catch me, I'm trying to feel that. Like I was telling my friend the other day, I want my eggs cracked. I want my back cracked. That's what I need. And speaking of retreats and getaways, Sean T, I don't know if you guys remember, he was like a real, I remember him growing up. Sean T was a fitness instructor. He would be always on the TV on one of the little fitness channels or early in the morning, certain times of day or whatever, and you'll see him just on there just going and going and going. And for the longest time, he was just the most attractive man. And shit, he still is, even though he's older. He's attractive for his age. So, needless to say, he is launching or hosting an all male fitness retreat. Yes, an all male fitness retreat. As we know, and as I know, and you may not know, Sean T is an openly gay man. So I don't know where your minds went, and it may be my frustration and me being in heat, but I know where my mind went. So according to Gay Magazine, their caption writes, "Gays ready to get worked out by Sean T. Openly gay fitness mogul and expert Sean T is raising eyebrows after announcing he is launching an all-male fitness retreat." He writes, "To my men, for the past couple of years, I've been wanting to organize a men's-only fitness retreat. This retreat will focus on intense fitness, but not at the level of my insanity workouts. It will also emphasize motivation and community where we can have deep conversations, reflect within ourselves, and explore our relationships with food and, listen up, connection." Now, before I say anything else, what that sound like to you? Now, my girls out there, and when I say girls, I mean the gays. What does that say to you? I know what that says to me. And again, I could be biased because I'm in my freak moment in my head. I'm mentally there and fantasizing a lot about things. But that just sounds like a good fucking time with a lot of gays that's going to be on Grindr and Jacked for 80% of the time trying to hook up. Sniffies is going to crash that weekend. Sniffies is going to crash. I know I was the only one speculating it because all down my timeline, all on Twitter, I kept seeing people say, "Oh, this just sounds like a sex party. Oh, this is going to be one big freak off." So, of course, that was the general consensus. I wasn't alone in that thought process. Sean T has responded to those same claims about his retreat being a freak off. And let me tell you what he says. He says, "It's not a freak off or sex retreat or freak off, but you do as you wish on your free time." Now, what that sound like to you? It's like, okay, I'm not putting this together for y'all to fuck. But if y'all decide to fuck while this is all going on, be my guest. Be my guest. Go ahead, do it. Do your thing. Have a ball. That's what I get from it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just hilarious because gays really was in like a big conundrum about it. Like, oh my God, they really doing this. Oh my God, he's just having a freak off, or oh, he's just doing a whole sex party and stuff. As if these things have not been going on already. People are already doing sex parties and orgies and bathhouses and such of the whatnot. People are already having freak offs. People host freak offs every weekend sometime. Not saying I be there, but I do know they're there. And truth be told, I don't hate the idea of a freak off. I rather enjoy freak offs. I actually prefer, and when I say freak off, I ain't talking about the Diddy version. There's no baby oil. Everybody's consensual, and most people are sober. Okay? We all know what we're doing, and no one is being all-worded or assaulted, anything like that. There's rules and restrictions, and you can't be thrown out if you overstep your boundaries. But needless to say, because I had to get it out of the way, I didn't want to make sure I got that disclaimer out the way, out the wazoo. Needless to say, sex orgies and these type of ordeals have been happening for years. All throughout history. It's happened. Okay, so for those who may not know what these things are, I'm going to break it down. According to Urban Dictionary, of course I had to go there. That's my good Judy. A sex party is a party where people go to engage in sexual activity with each other. Whether you're craving, brace yourself, for pussy, cocks, jugs, jizz, or ass, sex parties are probably one of the best things you will experience in the world. Now, I'm going to pause because though that is a true statement, they can also be some of your worst experiences depending on who you are as an individual and what you really like to get into. Okay, so for instance, my first sex party experience, it wasn't a terrible one. I went with my ex-boyfriend. We were in college at the time. What can I call him? Because I don't think I've given him a nickname yet. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna call him Bleach Skin. Okay, so my ex at the time, Bleach Skin, me, him, and another friend of mine, we all decided to go to a sex party. It was our very first one. We had never been to one, and we got invited to one. This was back in maybe 2016, 2016-ish, maybe 2017. We go to the sex party. It's way off in Kissimmee somewhere in the celebration area. So we way off in the boonies, not in the city. And it's basically where they had the big houses at, the big Airbnbs at. We go in, there's a ton of people, but it is so dark. So you don't know who's all there. You can't see their face. This is my first one. So at the time, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm not planning to have sex. All of us basically said before we went there we weren't going to have sex. We were just going to go to watch just to see how it is for our first one. So I can't speak too much for them because I'm pretty sure I definitely watched my ex-boyfriend at the time because I was feeling some type of way. So I definitely watched him and he did not have sex, but he did some other things. My first interaction with somebody at the sex party it was pitch black. I'm in the room. I'm just standing there. Um, I was wearing underwear. A guy comes. I can't see him because it's pitch black. All I know is I feel somebody pulling my dick out my underwear and placing it in his mouth. I kid you not. So I'm getting my dick sucked, and I don't know how I got an inkling to see it. You know how when you're in a room and it be dark, and after a while, once your eyes settle, I guess, you can start to see figures and shapes and stuff. I was able to look down and see who it is sucking my dick. I kid you not. I kid you not. He looked like an older version of Manny from Modern Family, the boy. You know what I'm talking about. Looks like George Lopez, basically. Sucking on my dick. Once I got a good glimpse of who he was, my dick went limp. And I pulled it out. Because I was like, sir, I definitely didn't tell you to get down there and do that. I was okay with it until I saw what you looked like. And then immediately I was turned off and I was like, no. So the whole sex party, I'm dodging him because he's chasing me around the sex party trying to get another feel or trying to get another slurp. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he couldn't catch a hint. So I'm just dodging him the whole time. Needless to say, the first experience wasn't bad, but it wasn't nothing exhilarating because it was more Latin men there. I'm more of I like niggas. Let's put it like that. And so it was more Latin vibe there. So I wasn't in my prime. I was not. I was not like turned on. I was kind of like turned off a little bit about it. And I was like, okay, if that's how sex parties work, they're kind of lame. It's nothing but older Hispanic guys, badly built at that. So in my mind, I'm like, this what everybody be talking about? So I immediately was kind of like turned off from it. And from there, I didn't really go to a lot after that. Um, Popped in for a few more after that, trying to give them another chance, and they just weren't really the one. You know what I mean? They weren't the ones. And so I left that alone. And I stopped doing sex parties for a while. Then a few years passed by. Bleach skin is finally out of my life, long gone. I'm in my hot boy era. It's 2019, so I'm in my hot boy era. I'm really like, yeah, I'm turning up. I'm going to all the stuff where the niggas be at. I'm going where all the niggas be at. So I done got like inkling because now I done got more acquainted with the community. I got an inkling of some real parties that was going to be going on. And it was definitely going to be more black people there. So I was intrigued. Oh boy, I was intrigued. And when I tell you I went to this party, Baby, that party turned me every way but loose. I kid you not. Now, I didn't link with a lot of people that night. I maybe linked with like 2 different guys. But, because one of them got a hold of me and wouldn't let me go. But outside of that, it was a good ass time. It was a good time. And then from that point on, I was like, okay, I do like this vibe. It's cute. This cute or whatever. I can do this every now and then. Not something I would do every weekend. I'm not gonna be that person that's trying to pop out every time they throw one. I'll come out every blue moon. I may choose like a birthday weekend or like a weekend where there's more people in town. Like I may go to a sex party maybe like twice a year at most. I don't really go to them a lot. There was a time when I was trying to host some um, money purposes, and those weren't really successful. So I haven't really been big on that whole thing. I'll work a door for somebody or something like that and not participate, or I help promote one, but I don't really be heavily at them frequently as some people do. Nothing against the ones that do, but I just don't frequently be there all the time because I feel like it's a special occasion type of event. I don't want to go to a graduation every weekend. I don't want to go to a wedding every weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Big type of events I don't want to always experience. I get warned from them. So if it's like a sex party, I treat it as such. It's just another party, and I don't like partying all the fucking time. Now, of course, I was saying earlier how this stuff has been happening throughout history, right? So, of course, a lot of people don't realize it, and some people may know about it because I'm pretty sure it's been spoken about in history. We've seen it in certain movies. There is some ideas about Greek orgies, right? It's a term that most people have heard of, a Greek orgy. And those did exist. I did do some research. I was looking over some articles and looking into some websites, just looking into more ideas about it. It wasn't as frequent as people make it seem. Like every ordinary average Greek civilian wasn't out there having a Greek orgy. It was more strictly for the upper class, people that really could afford the lifestyle of living like that and doing whatever the fuck they want without worrying about how they're seen and perceived because they have the upper class. They run the basically society. They can do what they want. And so there were leaders and people from that upper echelon that were like, yeah, I'm bisexual. I like men and women. I want as many men as possible. I want as many women as possible. But the downside was you were looked down upon and it was frowned upon if you were penetrated. So if you were the one that took the passive role, or basically if you were the bottom. If you were the bottom, you were shamed and looked at as disgusting and a disgrace and everything and so on and so forth, which probably led back to misogyny because women weren't able to be with multiple men like that. They had to be used as props. So only if there was prostitutes or escorts, women were able to be with parties, orgies and stuff. And the men that were able to be in it, they typically, whoever was most likely running it at the time, of course, would be the ones doing all the topping and making all the men submit to them, basically, by making them bottom for them. So it wasn't always basically just a whole casual, everybody's having fun experience, but more like a dominance thing with a hint of kink and, ooh, I want to try this and I can because I'm rich. Basically, like, this is my empire. I can do as I please and do who I want, when I want, and how I want it. And can't nobody say anything to me about it. And of course, that happened for a while until, the church got involved and was like, okay, we don't like the reputation and we don't like where this is going. This is going to be outlawed. And they went back to a more traditional role. So a lot of people have this misconception that the Greeks were freaks, but really they were just as traditional and against it and prudish as people are today. It's just that the ones that had the power at the time, they were able to get their rocks off. Now that hasn't changed a lot today. They're celebrities, we know, as you can tell from the Diddy situation, celebrities are still out here doing their own freaky deaky thing. They do have to be a little bit more discreet about it because they can mess up deals and businesses and reputation and such. But us little people down here, it's still frequent. People are still doing these things. There are still events being hosted. That fitness retreat that Sean T is hosting is just another version of Sizzle. Now, Sizzle down here is a Florida staple. I remember when I was still young in high school, hearing about everybody going down to Sizzle, maybe by 2010, 2011. No, maybe 2009, 2010. Hearing about guys and gays going down to Sizzle and having a ball. I always heard about how everybody was having sex. I always heard about they'll go to a new beach or they'll all be clubbing the whole weekend. It just was a bunch of just excitement. And do you know it took me years to finally go to Sizzle? I think I finally went to Sizzle in 2021. I think it was fresh off of COVID, so we finally was able to move around and do things. You know, it was Florida, so Florida really didn't give a fuck too much for COVID. We were still outside, but Sizzle was shut down for 2020, but they came back for 2021. Me and my ex Rochester at the time, we went down to Sizzle. We had a fucking ball. I've never had so much fun. And at the time, we were known as a very popular couple on Twitter, on X. And the Johnsons, I'm just gonna say it. We were called the Johnsons. And we had a little popular name for ourselves, at least in the Florida community. So when we got down there, I was shocked to see certain people run up to us and be like, "Oh, y'all the Johnsons. Oh, y'all the Johnsons. We like y'all." Because couples do get pretty big on Twitter pretty fast. Like, it's versus doing it solo. When you're with a duo and y'all have chemistry and people find y'all attracted together, yeah, y'all get a lot of attention and love. And so we got down there, we were like Z-list celebrities, and it felt good as fuck. On top of that, every event we went to, it was fun. It wasn't no drama. Everybody was just on their own vibe, setting up appointments, setting up link up sessions for later. It was a good time. While we were down there, we went to the new beach. That was the first time I went to a new beach, and we actually got naked. It was just a good time. Like, we had about matching, not underwear, but I think matching swimwear, and we wore it on the beach. It was like mesh see-through or something like that. It was real cute. We looked good as fuck. We had a great time that whole weekend. Like, wow, amazing time. We went to Club Lauderdale, which is basically a bathhouse, which is similar to the one we have here in Orlando called Club Orlando. We went there. I had never been to that bathhouse before. I had been to Club Orlando, but never been to that one. Went there, had a fucking good time. Fucking good time. Now, some of you may be wondering what the fuck a bathhouse is. And let me go ahead, make sure I pull up this because we love Google AI. Okay. So basically, a bathhouse is a building or facility designed for communal bathing, often including amenities like saunas, steam rooms, and pools, offering a space for relaxation, cleansing, and socializing. Now, now, that is often what they are for. But in the gay community, they are also used as a place where you can go get you a room, go in the sauna, go in a jacuzzi, explore around, and find other dark rooms and other parts of the facility where you can either have a glory hole, you could be tied up on ropes, you can go in a dark room where you can't see a fuck thing, but you can feel people and see people touching on you. You can go into other rooms and walk around and run into different people. There's options to have a towel, but you have to be nude unless it's like one of those nights where you don't have to be fully nude. You can wear underwear, but most people just go nude because it's like, why are you here? So you can walk around with your towel. They give you a locker and such, or if you don't get a locker, you get a room. You get a towel, you walk around, and you run around and you see people. And I had never been to one. My first time going one with my ex was Rochester, was with him. And we went to Club Orlando. And that first experience, I felt, I was nervous. And he made sure I was cool. He held my hand the whole time and made sure I wasn't nervous about anything. And whatever we did it together. So I kind of got this implemented in my head that bathhouses, I have to go with somebody because it just feels a lot more fun and safer to me if I'm with somebody else. I could never just get up and say, I'm going to the bathhouse today by myself. I would be terrified. I'm not that kind of person. I get pussy sometimes, And back then, we visited a few times. Like I said, we went to the one in Fort Lauderdale. He took me to this spot in Tampa called the Love Shack, which is actually a set store. It's not even a bathhouse. It's a set store where they sell like sets items like clothing, DVDs, stuff like that, porn, toys, all that stuff. Like a set store, like basically. But if you go, I can't remember if it's downstairs, but I do believe it's downstairs. If you go downstairs, that's when you go into the sets part. That's when you walk around and then you find the glory holes. You see the porn live, the porn playing on the TV screens. You see the different rooms. You see the cage rooms and all the different places you can go to fuck, suck, do whatever you want to do. And everybody's, doing that. It was really an interesting experience. We had more action outside when we went to the car because we was in our car. It was some dudes walking up, and mind you, Love Shack is in like the hood. It's not in like some pretty pristine area. So people that was there was nothing but niggas. So we sitting in the car, we seeing like niggas that probably was somebody baby daddy walking up to the car and trying to talk to us. And I was always the feisty one when it came to that type of stuff. So I was never gonna be just jumping on any dick that just walked by. Well, I wasn't. And so I'll put up a fight a little bit. I'll be like, nigga, what you want? Why you talking to me? I'll do that kind of vibe. I ain't gonna give you too much of my game, what I be doing, how I be spitting to these niggas. But I can't never come off too thirsty. So when I be at these sex parties or when I'm at the bathhouses or if I'm at that type of event or doing any of that, I'm so chill. I'd rather be approached. I'm gonna give you the eye to let you know, like, what's up, nigga? But I'm not gonna come walking over you and I ain't gonna be chasing you around nowhere. I ain't chasing nobody for nothing. So I sit right there, look cute, look sexy, whatever. What's up? Come holler at me, They come holler at me and then we do what we do. And it just be like, chef kiss. I shouldn't even be talking about this in this heat of the moment I'm in. In this heat of the moment, I should not be talking about this because I am literally only giving myself great, amazing memories that I should probably not be thinking about in this very moment. Ooh. Now here's the thing. Now when you go to these type of events, I have learned that you kind of got to go with the right people or you may not feel as comfortable or you may not enjoy it as much. I've been to a few sex parties and I've been to a few bathhouses with certain individuals who go there and they have a great time. They do. But they never know when it's over. Like, I don't typically go to these events and stay the whole night. I go long enough to where I've satisfied myself, I've enjoyed myself, but I never stay until the end. I don't want to be the last person leaving. Sorry, I just don't want to be the last person leaving. It's not that serious. I'll get there, be there for 2 to 3 hours, and then go find something else to do. That's me. You can't go with somebody that want to be there till the door closes or till they open and say, okay, we're done, everybody go home. I don't want to be there till the lights cut on. That's not me. Unless I'm a part of the promotion team or if I'm a part of setting it up or hosting it or this is an event I'm a part of, I am going home. If I'm going to do anything else, I can go home and do it. I don't have to stay here and keep socializing for another 10 hours. I refuse to do that. I'm not doing that. That's not my forte. And I've been sometimes with people that just want to stay and never go home. Like, one time, everybody was dressed and ready to go. The party was supposed to be over at 6. It's 6:14. I am fully dressed. People have left the building. I am sitting outside smoking a blunt, waiting for the person I came with because they are still getting fucked by the host after everybody has left. Mind you, it's over. Nobody is there but the host and you. So now I'm sitting here waiting while you getting fucked for another hour when the thing was over with and I wanted to leave 2 hours ago. And I had to keep going there saying, hey, bro, let's slide. Like, I'm ready to go. Which is why I don't like riding with people to these events, which I don't like going with people who ain't on the same time as me. We need to be on the same wavelength. I look at you, you look at me. You ready to go? Let's slide. Let's go do something else. All right, bro. Like, that type of vibe. Not, let's stay here and never leave. That's not what we're here to do. This is not a lifetime event, okay? They're going to have another one again. You can come back. Let's go home right now. That's how I feel. Like, Ain't nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to be fucking the whole time. Like eventually I get tired. I want to go do something else. I want to go have a drink. Or I want to go smoke. You feel me? Or I want to go talk to somebody else. Like, no. And like I said, I've been to a few different ones. And the ones I like the most is where we're vibing. Like some of us, someone smoking on a balcony, or we're over here chilling on a porch, or some of us listening to music, vibing, talking. Like when I go to these parties, I treat them as such. I treat them as a social event. Yeah, people are fucking, people are doing things, but there's been plenty of times where I've gone to one and the most I've done was jack off, because I would just be chilling, talking to somebody, having a drink. Hell, at the bar most of the time. I usually spend most of my time by the bar because I be filling up my cup, having a drink, smoking and chilling and getting to know people. I may meet somebody out there or something like that. You know, that's what I be doing. I don't be over there bent over on the bed, sitting in doggy style, waiting for every fellow to walk through. That don't be me now. I don't do all that. Now, the one that do that, kudos to you. But baby, I tap out. I'm not. If I do that, I'm be leaving earlier than I thought. I'm gonna leave before we get to the third hour if I do something like that, because I'm gonna be over it real fast. Like, all right, I done gave all I done gave to this. It's time to go. And that's how I be. I be out that bitch. Now, granted, it's gotten to the point where there's a misconception about me. A lot of people think I do this all the time, or that I'm very well connected to the sex world out here. Have you heard about this party? What party is going to be tonight? What party is going to be next night? I can be very, I could be very informed about it, or I could be very connected in that world, in that lifestyle, in that underground world of, the sex industry, I guess you could say. But I don't participate a lot because I'm a little flaky. There's been plenty of parties I was like, oh yeah, I'm coming, and I don't go. I don't get out of my bed. So I'm not always the person that you should ask, but people do come into town, especially when they come from Atlanta or something like that. They come to Orlando, and they're like, "Oh, Robbie, what's some freaky stuff to do tonight? Oh, Robbie, what's the next sex party? Robbie, what's this, that, and that?" And sometimes I know, and sometimes I don't, but that don't mean I'm gonna go. I'll tell you what's going on. I could easily go look because I know who hosts the parties. I can go find the promoters. I can go find a host and be like, okay, they throwing a party this Friday, or they throwing a party tomorrow, or they throwing a party tonight. I can go get the information for you because I know where it's at. That don't always mean I'm gonna participate. And there's even been often times where an event will be happening in town this prior weekend or something like that, and a lot of hosts and promoters and strippers and everybody come in town, and they be like, "Oh, Robbie, we all going back to the hotel. You should come slide with us." I've gone. I have gone sometimes. Like, okay, once in a lifetime opportunity. When I was in my bag, yeah, I'll go. Let's all hang out. I'm meeting people. I'm hanging with people I don't know, people I do know, and I'm having a good time. Why not? That's what I'm here to do, and that's what I've done. I've had a good time doing it. I don't regret doing any of that shit. I had some good times, but like I've said, I've also had some bad times. One bad time at a bathhouse, right? This wasn't right after it, but it was after me and Rochester broken up. Mind you, remember I told you I was going through a lot of heavy stuff at that time. I was very depressed. I lacked confidence in myself at that time. So I wasn't feeling myself and I didn't feel comfortable. A friend of mine was like, I need to get you out of the house. Let's go to Club Orlando. I know you like Club Orlando. I like Club Orlando. Let's go. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. But deep down, I didn't want to go because the last time I had been to Club Orlando was with my ex at the time. I didn't want to go there. It wasn't doing but bring back memories. So I went there and tried to have the best time I could. I tried. I honestly did. And I didn't have sex with anyone. I didn't really do anything. I really just walked around and looked. My friend had a good time and I know he was having a ball. Ended of the night, while he was still in there, because I think they give you a certain amount of time, I was sitting outside on the curb crying. Like, and it wasn't because I wasn't having a good time or it wasn't people there that was attractive. I was crying because at the time I missed my ex and it brought back memories. And I was like, what am I doing here without him? I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to be here. And that bitch had probably been there 10,000 times since we had broken up. And then my dumb ass sat there on the curb crying, looking stupid. Baby, I missed a lot of good opportunities that night because there was some fine niggas in there. And I was sitting out there crying on the fucking curb looking retarded. pardon my French or pardon the R word, but I was looking stupid out there. And needless to say, like, ever since then, I pick and choose when I go. And like I said, I'd rather go with somebody that makes me feel comfortable. Since then, I have had some good times there. Since then, I have gone to sex parties and I've been able to have fun, but I don't go to them often. The last time I went to one was last year during Christmas, and it was a sex party hosted by a friend of mine, and we had a good time. It was a good time that night. I won't lie. It was so good afterwards. A large group of us went out to Waffle House. We went out to Waffle House. We ate, we talked or whatever, and chilled. Like we wasn't all in there just smashing each other at that. Like that's the type of vibe I be on though. That's the type of vibe I be on when I'm around a group of people and we all having a good time. We chilling. I've met some great people at these sex parties. Believe it or not, like you never know who you're gonna run into. A lot of times you run into somebody you don't know even go to these type of things. You be looking at them like, but do I know you? But I know you from somewhere. What you doing out here? But you don't say that. Y'all just give each other a nod, like, okay. And y'all smile a little bit because both of y'all know, like, shit, we both here for the same reason. We're here to do the same thing. So I'm not for to judge you. You're not for to judge me. We just here to do the same thing. Let's get to work. You know what I mean? That's what vibe we be on. So if I had to choose between which one that I prefer out of like a sex party or going to a bathhouse, I'm gonna choose a sex party every time for all those reasons I listed about why I like going to them. You know, it's more of a laid back vibe. I can probably smoke, drink, chill, and just communicate, and we could just be vibing when we have to be fucking in a more restricted venue because everybody's not invited. It's not always open invitation. Sometimes it's more like sending a picture so you can be qualified to come, and then sometimes they're restricted to certain type of people at this party. And then I may know some people, whereas at a Club Orlando or Club Fort Lauderdale or any other bathhouse, it's gonna be complete strangers that I don't know, and it may be people I'm not attracted to. It may be things I'm not vibing with or comfortable with there. The weather can contribute. It could be cold. Like a lot of those things contribute a lot to whether I'm gonna enjoy myself at a bathhouse. But those issues doesn't take place at a sex party. Even at a sex party, if I'm not vibing with everybody there, it's nothing for me to find one or two people that I will at least vibe with that I can chill with. If not, I can just go roll me a blunt up and smoke. And if the party ain't how I'm feeling, I'll just go home. Whereas at a bathhouse, you pay for a certain time and you're going to want to get your time and you want to get your money worth. So you're going to stay as long as possible, even if you're not seeing anything you're interested in, even if the vibe is off, you're like, I don't want to waste my money. So that's the difference. So that's why I prefer more of a sex party because it's more valuable to me. Yes, sometimes it could be hit and miss, but that's the same for a bathhouse. So it's like apples and oranges. I don't compare the two too much because it depends on the type of person. Because I have plenty of friends that will go to a sex party but won't go to a bathhouse because of the inclusivity of anybody can be there, and it's not always attractive people, and it's not always people of our age group, and a lot of different numerous factors. Sometimes it's more pale people there. You know what I mean? So that's not always the vibe. And I remember growing up, hearing about Club Orlando, I always heard from like the older gays around me, oh, nothing but bunch of old white men be there. So that's why I never had went, and it took my ex having to take me there, and us going on a night where there was more black people involved, for me to see, oh, there's a vibe there can be. But when it comes to a sex party, if I know who's hosting, I know where it's hosting, yeah, and I can find out who's gonna be there, I already got like a vibe, like okay, I'm gonna enjoy this, so I'm gonna go to it because I know I'm going to enjoy it. To each his own. Everybody may not enjoy the things I enjoy, and some people may enjoy it, but we're not gonna always be on the same page, and so that's why I've had more successful experiences with sex parties than I have at bathhouses. And I know a lot of people want to judge people for going to sex parties or going to bathhouses or any of these freak off events. These things have been happening for all time. I even brought up the Greek orgies. Back in biblical times, people were having orgies. Orgies have always existed. People have always liked having sex. And some people like having sex together with other people that like doing it. And so people that try to shame me and stuff like that, I don't take no shame to it because I'm like, girl, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I have a good time if I go. And 9 times out of 10, you've been to one. So how can you shame somebody else for going to one? You know what I mean? And it's a good hustle. I've seen people make a lot of money hosting them and not having to touch a soul. So I don't judge it. I don't look down on it because I know there is a benefit and a value to it, and it's fun. It's an exciting experience. I'm not gonna knock nothing that's a good time. I like good vibes. I like having fun. I like being free. That's literally the persona of a sex party. Freedom. And that's something I enjoy. So when it comes down to Shanti or to Sizzle or anything like that, yeah, go to it. I say go to a sex party for once. Even if you've never been to one or you're scared, go just one time. And I'm speaking strictly for the gay community because I know the straight community got their own things going on. I wouldn't recommend that too much. But in the gay community, I recommend going to at least once, one time, just to see if you like it. You may go, it may turn your life out, or you may go and never want to go again. But you'll never know if you don't go. I had to give it a try. I think everyone should. That's the best way you can find out your freak level. You can see just how freaky you really are if you're there with multiple people that's also having sex. I had to call my friend. That's a freak friend of mine. That's a real good friend of mine. We do a lot of freak things together. I'll talk about him in another episode. We ain't gonna talk about him right now. But I did call him to just ask him some questions just to see what he think about a freak off. He went to the one I went to where I thought it was amazing or whatever. So I want to get his input to see what he has to say. So hold on, let me call him right now. I thought you weren't gonna call back for a second.
I tell you to get my call.
I heard you, but I didn't think you were calling back. You said 2 minutes. It had been 5. I was like, he ain't calling me back.
I had to get to my car. I was leaving a friend's house.
Oh, so you've been busy.
Yes and no.
I told you while I'm away, you be busy.
Child, cut it.
I said when I don't go on the trips, you have all kind of stuff to do.
Whatever. It was one of my old Twitter friends. He got off Twitter and I ain't seen him since. But yeah, I ain't seen him since he got off Twitter, and then we've always been close. Like, how can I explain him? We kind of had like a vibe like me and you got, but not as serious. It was more so just sexual, if you know what I mean. Had the blunts rolled and ready, bitch massage, all that.
Okay, so I was trying to record today, but I'm hitting some roadblocks and some topics. What else can I talk about with sex parties and stuff? What can I talk about else with that? I named some of my.
Talk about the greedy bottoms.
Greedy bottoms. Okay. Are you talking about the one that be one? Wait. What do you mean by greedy bottoms?
The ones that be sitting there waiting to get fucked, or the ones that be, well, you can either do like the ones that be bent over, just ready to be cum dumped in, or you can talk about the ones that sit there and watch somebody else getting fucked, and they want to dig right afterwards, or while the person fucking, they grabbing them and all that kind of shit. Yeah, you can do a lot.
I did talk about how
And then the same can go for a top. You know what I'm saying? The top trying to control the set. No shade. Ooh.
What you mean? I don't think I've ever noticed that. What do you mean the top controlling that? Trying to fuck everything?
A top that's trying to fuck everybody, like a power top, pretty much. He trying to fuck everybody, or even if he fucking one person, he trying to just fuck on them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yes. Okay, so I've had that a lot. I've had that. I hate it. It's only good when it's like with somebody that I'm vibing with.
Mutual.
Yeah, and I actually either know them a little bit or I'm comfortable with them. But I do not like it when they be like, I know what you're talking about. Now I'm seeing it in my head. Like the ones that just be, they walk around and they just got these big ass dicks and they just keep running over to everybody trying to fuck everybody. And I'm like, lady, back up. That dick too big. And so I be feeling like that. or the ones that do want to just fuck you the whole time. Like, where you going? Where you going? You ain't finna get fucked by nobody else. You just get fucked by me. And I'm like, no, this is
My
a
pussy for the night.
yeah. They always say this is my pussy for the night, and I'm like, dude, this is a sex party, a party for people. Like, all right. So I do have some questions because I'm taking a poll right now. The last when we went to that sex party during Christmas that you had basically hosted, kind of in a way. What would be on the scale of 1 to 10? How was it?
Oh God.
That bad?
A 7.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I really was gonna say 6, but I ain't gonna be mean. But I was
Really?
7. Yeah, I really didn't enjoy myself. It was low key horrible.
We had a good time though.
We made a good time. It was a
Well,
whole
yeah,
good time.
we kind of made the party.
Right. But had we not did our big one, it wouldn't have been nothing getting done.
Do you feel like that's always the case? Like,
Not, it's not like that in Atlanta. I'll say that.
I, st- the more I think about it, that is really crazy. I haven't been to one in Atlanta, but I can believe you because I feel like it's more people engaging and doing their own thing and not waiting for somebody to get it started.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't like being the first person. I hate doing that.
yeah, like the one I hosted, it was very much given like naked social hour until shit got going.
Yeah, yeah. But I like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's cool, but like in Atlanta, I like how let's just say it's in a 3-bedroom house. Let's just we got one room that's a completely dark room. One room is I'm not gonna say a well lit room, but you can see what the fuck going on. And then you got just another room, whatever. And like the kitchen, it'll be like the chill room. That way they got the drains and people go smoke. And you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be a whole vibe. We could be in the living room, fucking on the couch, or just chilling on the couch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely nothing. Like even the one I did in Fort Lauderdale, that one was nice. I actually
Okay.
enjoyed that. And it's very exclusive because he only allowed like 25 to 30 people in total to come.
I think that's the best one when they're exclusive, where they pick and choose who comes, and then that way it's a set vibe, and they have a set amount of top, amount of bottom, set amount of verse. You know what I mean? Like then it works because sometimes I've been to some parties when it's like one top, and now you got all bottoms waiting to get fucked by that one top. So I'm not interested. And then you got some when it's like a bunch of tops and not enough bottoms, and then that ain't no good vibe either because now all y'all fighting over who y'all want to fuck. Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking no shitty kitty.
Well, I don't even think that should even be a problem, but that has been a problem. I've been to some. I don't know why that happens, but I do think people should not go to those parties if they're not ready.
Yeah, it happens more than you think.
Yeah, I know. And they have to shut the room down, and it'd be so. It turns off. I feel like it kills the vibe for me because once you smell that smell, it kind of just kills it for me. I probably would have had a ball if I came. Oh my god.
It's been cute. The pageant been long as fuck every night, but it's been cute overall.
Oh, I would have had to step outside, but still,
Say what?
I'd have had to step outside and get some fresh air, but still.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody was doing. Like they were like, fuck this pageant, bitch. We gonna have smoke and do this and do that. So dick in the parking lot and all that. Yeah.
Because if it was hot, I know people was going outside.
Ooh. Baby, I was trying to go outside every chance I get.
But if it was in a theater, why was it hot? They ain't had AC on.
They had the AC on, but it was just hot. It couldn't take it. It wasn't ventilating that whole thing.
Oh, was that crowded?
Hell yeah. I told you it's a big pageant weekend.
No, I've been seeing it. I just wasn't sure. Like I didn't get to see the audience and what it looked like.
Yeah, it's like like a theater.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Just calling to check on you. I'll call you back later.
All right, man.
All right, love. When it comes down to it, Sex parties and orgies, freak-offs, all that nature has been around for several centuries. It's a staple in culture, in different various cultures. Some cultures frown upon it, some partake. And in our culture, especially the LGBT culture, the gay culture, people partake in it. And hey, you can toot your nose up, or you can join in. I suggest joining in because I'll be there, of course. Okay, that's not a given. There's no chance I'll be there. But needless to say, regardless, yeah, I like to have a little fun. And sometimes I want to have fun with other people. And a sex orgy, sex party, bathhouse, that's the place to be when you want company while you're doing what you're doing. So I'm going to leave this question with you. If I was going to a sex party or a bathhouse, would you want to come with me? You don't have to rush the answer. And on that note, I did enjoy myself talking to you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, come back next Wednesday, every Wednesday after that. Tune in to what I got to say. And yeah, just keep linking with Robbie.